he still hasn't come home, so it's likely that he could be dead, right? Plus, if she was able to get him declared legally dead, she and her daughters would be entitled to a $30,000 payout from Social Security due to Donald's death, right? She could really use that to support her girls as well as herself, you know? So she was able to get that approved. The court declared Donald dead. His wife received the death benefits from Social Security. Cool. Well, in 2005, 11 years after being declared dead, Donald shows back up in Ohio. He went and applied for a driver's license, not knowing that he had been dead to the state of Ohio for a long time now. You can't issue a driver's license to a dead person. There's a lot of things a dead person can't do, obviously. So Donald had to go to court to let them know, hey, I'm not dead. I'm alive and well. I'm right here. Hello. Now, it would have done him a world of good to just be alive again. But for his wife, not so good, because by this time she had gotten remarried and she had pretty much used all of the death benefits that she had gotten, right? So if Donald was declared undead, she would have to pay back that $30,000 plus interest, and she would still be legally married to Donald, though she was married to someone else now. She would be considered a bigamist if Donald was alive again. So to keep all of this from happening, she ended up going against the court's decision to try to make him alive again. And guess what? The court agreed to keep him dead, even though he was right there with them. This is mainly because under Ohio's law, you only have 3 years to show back up after you've been declared legally deceased. It had been 11 years already, so Donald just had to stay dead. Crazy, right? But Donald was eventually able to get a whole new Social Security number assigned to him, so he was kind of able to start over in a sense. Also, the Social Security Administration, they tried to have his wife pay back the money that they had given her. Luckily, they would end up throwing the whole thing out, so she didn't have to pay anything. You know, I never thought about what it would be like to be in a situation like that. The law is crazy sometimes, isn't it? This man was right there in their faces, but they still couldn't make him alive again because of what the law says. Not that I have anything against the law at all. It's just crazy to think about. Speaking of Ohio, I also learned that all DUI offenders are issued a different license plate than everyone else. People with repeat DUIs or people who are caught driving with a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit, they are issued a bright yellow license plate with red writing to let everyone know that you're an offender. That's quite embarrassing now that I think about it. At the same time, though, you shouldn't be driving under the influence. Don't do that. Today, I learned that I have something called Latchy Incontinence. And you just might too. Say you're out and about, enjoying your day, everything's fine. Afterward, you make it home, you pull up your driveway, get out of the car, and then all of a sudden, you get this sudden urge to pee. Like the kind of pee where you can barely hold it, just out of the blue. Like your body just knew that you were at home and knew that you were near the bathroom. You know that feeling? Like the closer you get to the bathroom, the more you have to pee. Yep, that's an example of what you call latchkey incontinence. I didn't even know it had a name. I thought it was something that just magically happened to me every time I made it home. But no, apparently this is a real thing. To put it simply, our brain Incontinence as well. I still can't believe that's a real thing. On May 2nd, 1945, a rather sad yet very strange event took place. Basically, hundreds of people gathered on the Yarmouth Suspension Bridge, which is a bridge that stretched across River Bure in Great Yarmouth, England. They gathered on this bridge to watch a clown in a bathtub be pulled down the river by 4 geese. Yeah, that was an actual thing that actually happened. You have to remember, this is 1845. They probably didn't have much entertainment back then, so watching a clown in a bathtub being pulled by 4 geese was something to do. I mean, they literally sent out flyers and everything for this event. It was a big deal. But yeah, so apparently somewhere around 400 people gathered on this bridge to see the clown, right? The clown, the geese, and the bathtub come floating down the river. As they're doing so, would you believe that the bridge that all of the spectators were standing on, it collapsed right into the water underneath it. All of the hundreds of people that were on it fell into the water. Majority of them survived, but sadly, 78 of them were confirmed dead. Out of those 78, 59 of them were just young children. So sad. Now, the weight of all the people on the bridge is kinda what caused it to collapse. But really, the main reason it collapsed was because of a welding defect in the bridge. It's just so heartbreaking. Different people and workers at businesses nearby, they jumped in the water and tried to rescue as many as they could, but they just couldn't save everyone. They say that this incident was the largest loss of life in Great Yarmouth. They actually have like a memorial plaque with all of the victims' names on it in Great Yarmouth, near the river where the bridge collapsed. God bless them. So, I didn't realize that there are so many things that are actually trademarked. I mean, I'm talking about stuff that I would have never thought of. One weird thing that I already knew that was trademarked is the orange color that is used for the Reese's peanut butter cup packaging. That orange color is considered theirs, like it belongs to them, which is weird to think about. There are also quite a few words and phrases that are trademarked as well, like Michael Buffer's phrase, "Let's get ready to rumble." I'm scared to even say it like him. Apparently, he's even made over $400 million off of this phrase since he trademarked it in 1992. Paris Hilton's phrase, "That's hot," trademarked, and she once sued Hallmark for using it on one of their greeting cards without permission. The words baggy, superhero, onesie, bam, all trademarked. Photos of the Eiffel Tower at night, trademarked. Apple's slide to unlock feature and some things dealing with Siri, trademarked. Darth Vader's breathing sound, trademarked. Law and Order's dun-dun, trademarked. Just to name a few. It literally never crossed my mind that so many things were trademarked. I find it rather interesting. Gotta be careful out here. So, am I the only one who hadn't heard of a corpse flower until recently? I gotta tell you about it because this flower is just strange to me all around. For one, corpse flowers are pretty huge and rather scary looking to me. I don't know why, but it reminds me of that huge plant as well. Like human skin, warm with blood running through it. Weird. It also grows some type of fruit, but it's actually poisonous to humans, so don't try it. Also, the corpse flower is actually endangered. There are less than 1,000 of them left in the wild. Though it scares me a little, I actually want to see one of these in its bloomed state before they're all gone. Okay, this one is going to be a short little fact, but did you know that the star rating system that hotels have, like how hotels are considered 5-star hotels, 4, 3-star hotels, did you know that a lot of hotel star systems don't actually go by how the customer felt during their experience at the hotel? There are actually many different star systems that are based on different things depending on where you are. Some are actually based on the different things that the hotel has to offer, the amenities, the quality of the hotel. Some are based on location, size, and style, and some really are based on customer satisfaction. I never knew that. I literally thought all of them were based on customer satisfaction. I even read on CNBC that the ratings you see on websites like Booking.com, the hotel itself is actually who designates how many stars it's given. Isn't that crazy? Something to think about. Speaking of hotels, in March of 2019, for their 125th anniversary, the Roosevelt Hotel in New Orleans, Louisiana offered a free 7-night stay in their presidential suite to whoever returned the most outrageous thing they had ever stolen from the hotel. They called it the Historic Give Back Contest. This stay would be worth $15,000. The winner would receive dinner prepared by the executive chef. They would also get a chance to relax with some amazing spa services at the hotel. Well, people started bringing all types of stuff in that they had stolen over the years. Brass hotel keys, plates, a tablecloth, wine glasses, postcards, menus, crazy stuff. Apparently around 70 items were returned to the hotel. The winner was actually a New Orleans local who had taken a coffee pot from the hotel at some point. To be honest with you, it doesn't even cross my mind to take anything from a hotel other than the little complimentary things they give you, you know. But yeah, I thought that was a cool little contest for them to have on their 125th anniversary. What's even cooler is that they weren't even tripping about the items that were returned. After the contest was over, they literally returned all of the stolen items to the people who brought them in. They let them keep everything that they had stolen. No penalties, no nothing. I talked about fictional characters' real names in one of my older facts videos, and I was literally dripping out over them because it's just so weird to think about the fact that they have government names, not just the cute little nicknames we know. But I recently learned that Cookie Monster's name is Sid or Sydney. Mr. Clean, you know, the bald guy from the Mr. Clean cleaning products. His name is veritably clean. The man on the Quaker Oaks products, his name is Larry. When Twitter was still Twitter, the bird on the logo, his name is also Larry. Pooh Bear, Winnie the Pooh Bear, is actually Edward Bear, the wizard from The Wizard of Oz. His name is Oscar Zoroaster Frederick Isaac Norman Hinkle Emmanuel Ambrose Diggs. The little Captain Crunch man, his name is Horatio Magellan Crunch. Mr. Peanut, you know, from the Planters brand, his name is Bartholomew Richard Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald Smith Peanut, the guy on the Pringles can with the mustache, Julius Pringles, the police on the Monopoly board game. His name is Officer Edgar Mallory. Woody from Toy Story is Woody Pride. Yeah, it's on their birth certificates. Look it up. Also, in 1927, Santa Claus was issued an official pilot's license from the actual U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Aeronautics. Look it up. Have you ever felt the need to sneeze, but it's like the sneeze just wouldn't come out for anything? Then someone near you tells you to look up at the light and it'll help you go ahead and sneeze. Well, this has happened to me quite a few times in my life, but that looking at the light stuff never worked for me. And I never understood why. I'm like, I mean, this must work since so many people have told me to do it. I know they're not just telling me to do it so I look crazy, holding my head up to the sky and scrunching my nose because I have to sneeze so bad. Well, turns out being able to look into the light to trigger a sneeze is not normal, for everyone at least. It's actually a genetic trait. People who are able to do this have something called Auu Syndrome. It's a condition in which a person sneezes after being exposed to bright light, such as the sun or a light bulb, and due to genetic inheritance. If one parent has Auu Syndrome, their child has a 50% chance of also having it. Apparently only 18 to 35% of us are affected by the syndrome. Clearly, I'm not a part of the 18 to 35%. Not that there's anything wrong with the 18 to 35%. In a way, I actually think it might be kinda cool to have Auu Syndrome. I mean, who wouldn't want to go ahead and get those sneezes out? At the same time, I can also understand how it may be a bit annoying having the urge to sneeze every time you're exposed to bright light. But yeah, Auu Syndrome is completely harmless. No worries. I can't wait to tell someone about this the next time I or someone else around me has to sneeze. So excited. So I recently learned about the infamous Whopper Sacrifice situation. I have no idea how I don't remember this happening because it seems like it was a pretty big deal at that time. But back in January of 2009, Burger King announced that they would be having a special promotion. Basically, Burger King offered to give you one free Whopper, right? All you had to do was unfriend 10 people on Facebook. 10 of your Facebook friends. Easy enough, right? Not really. Just to put things into perspective, this was not the Facebook that we know today. Today, we wouldn't care about 10 people unfriending us. No, this was back when Facebook was just becoming popular. Everybody was kind of moving from MySpace over to Facebook. You wanted to build your friend count, okay? You wanted those 10 friends. You needed those 10 friends. Well, as news about the campaign spread left and right, people began unfriending people left and right. Apparently around 234,000 people were unfriended while this campaign was going on. But the thing is that the unfriended people were actually told that they had been unfriended for a free Whopper. And I don't know how true it is, but some people say that after the person was unfriended, a whole post was uploaded to that person's Facebook wall letting them know that this person unfriended you for a burger. And of course, not only the unfriended person, but all of their friends could see this as well. Talk about emotional damage. I heard that a lawsuit